In this module, we will discuss about the OpenStack orchestration service, which is called Heat. So we'll be trying to cover the topics like what is orchestration service or Heat, then what all are the components inside Heat, and how the Heat template looks, and some basic Heat commands. Then we'll see the cloud in it, auto scaling, and then we will see the updated lab build out, then where you will be putting the Heat inside your OpenStack environment. So let's move on the first topic, that's the orchestration service or Heat. So Heat is the project name for the OpenStack orchestration service. So it works directly with declarative model. So what is the declarative model? Like you will declare some conditions and action on those conditions. So you can configure your Heat like that. So that model represent infrastructure resources and their relationship. Suppose if you are giving like CPU usage, if it is going above 90%, you should add extra 2 instance, something like that. So it's like you are giving a relationship where with the condition, and it also replaces the manipulating virtual infrastructure element by hand or with script. So what it does, like suppose you have some application running where you can horizontally scale that application by adding new node. What you do if you are seeing like that application is overloaded, so where you are seeing more traffic coming or CPU usage is high or memory usage is high on certain point, so what you do, you go and manually increase that. So either you do that manually or you run some script. So here comes the Heat. So Heat eliminates that requirement to scale that application horizontally by either manually or by script. So Heat itself can have those conditions, and whenever that conditions are getting crossed, it can do it by itself by scaling up or scaling down the resources. It can also launch multiple template based composite cloud applications. So you can do one time that template, and then whenever you require you can deploy the entire cloud applications by the Heat. It also provides auto scaling service that integrates with Ceilometer or telemetry service, which lets you include scaling group as resource in template. So what is the auto scaling, that we will see later also, but here just for your understanding, auto scaling means like what I was telling, you can put some parameter for monitoring. If it get past that parameter, it can itself increase the resource. Like if you are increasing means storage is getting crossed that threshold limit, it can add extra storage, something like that you can do. So that's called auto scaling. So orchestration service or Heat has a template. So this external file template describes infrastructure for cloud application, and this template is human readable and writable and can check into version control also, so that you can have the latest template available whenever you require. It can also manage application lifecycle. So to change infrastructure, modify template and use it to update the stack. And Heat makes changes and deletes resources when you finish with the application. So suppose if you are deploying an application for certain time of the day or for some few days, something like that, you can have it managed by Heat, so that Heat can deploy that application with the necessary resources, and when it's done it can delete that application and release those resources to the pool. So that can be done via Heat using a Heat template. So this all task Heat can perform. So one is like provisioning one or more instances. So suppose you are having a server or web server, take it as an example, which is hosting your internet facing application. So now if you are having a requirement to provision more instances for that application, you can do it via Heat. You can create security groups, then you can create volumes if required, so that that volume can be attached to an instance. Also you can create Newton network, subnet routes, all these things, and allocate and associate floating IP. So where it will come into picture, like suppose if you are deploying an instance, so instance will be requiring to have a security group or attach some volume to have a network, subnet, and all those things. So heat by itself can have all these necessary resources to provision, and then provision the instance and also assign a floating IP to communicate with outside network. So you no need to do anything manually here. So heat can also auto scale using CloudWatch and Celiometer alarm. So suppose if you are working with some alarming where you are setting that alarm like this space should not cross this much of threshold value. If it is crossing, then new storage to add, or if you are having like load on an instance, and if you see like its CPU is going more than 90%, so have extra one instance. So that auto scaling you can do via orchestration service or heat, and it works both with both AWS CloudWatch and OpenStack Celiometer. So there are various components inside heat. Heat has one component called heat tool, that is a CLI tool that communicates with heat API. It can also execute AWS CloudForm APIs, and it is not necessarily required, and we can directly communicate with the heat APIs also. So these are the main components for heat, that is heat API. It provides OpenStack native REST API service. So it processes request by sending to heat engine over remote procedure call. So please remember, heat API communicate with host engine, heat engine via RPC or remote procedure call, so not via any messaging queue. So then there is a next component that's called heat engine. So this orchestrates template launch and also provides events back to API consumer. So suppose you want to launch a template, instance via template, so that will be done via heat engine, and then it sends back the feedback to the API so that client can have the status back. Then it has one more component, heat API CFN. So it provides AWS style query API which is compatible with AWS CloudForm. So if you are working with AWS CloudFormation, you can use the component heat API CFN, and then it has a component called heat template. So heat template is nothing but the heat orchestration template or HOD, where you define the resources and their actions on a heat. So this is the component relationship, how it looks. So you have the OpenStack dashboard which provides a UI to manage heat, then that talks with the heat template and also orchestration service or heat. So now orchestration service has connectivity with your identity or keystone, then network or Neutron, block storage or Cinder, and object storage or Swift. Also it has a connectivity with image service and compute. Now how it works, so suppose you want to launch a instance, so what heat will do, first it will go to identity or keystone to see whether you are an authorized user or not. So once it gets that confirmations, it goes to the compute node or Nova, then it use the image from Glance to launch an image where it assign the network from Neutron and block storage from Cinder and object storage from Swift, and at the end it deploy the instance for your use. So that is one condition. Or suppose if you are configured with Celiometer where it can trigger an alarm which can go and launch an instance, so that case heat gets a trigger from Celiometer which sends a request to the heat to launch or triggers the heat to launch an instance. So in that case also it goes a similar way. Identity service, Neutron, block storage, object storage, image service, and compute, it talk with everyone and it launch the necessary instance with necessary resources. So here you can see all the communication is happening via REST API. So all these red dotted lines are REST API. So this is example heat template, it looks like that. So heat templates are not is written in mainly YML format, and it uses server definition with hot syntax. So this is like a template example where you like defining like parameters, image id is like type, string, description, image used to boot a server. So like this you write a heat template to have your orchestration service enabled on your OpenStack platform. So these all are the basic heat commands. Like OpenStack stack create, it creates a stack of instances, whereas OpenStack stack create dry run, it validates the template. So suppose if you have a template before launching an instance with the template, you can have a dry run using this command. Then OpenStack stack, so it shows the stack details. OpenStack stack delete, it deletes the stack. OpenStack stack event list events related to the stack. Then OpenStack stack resource list, it lists the resources consumed by the stack, whereas OpenStack stack resource show stack name and resource name shows details of specific resource. And OpenStack stack template, so it shows the template used for stack. So anyhow, you just remember this command. We will see again these things in the lab section where we will be using these commands, and we will demonstrate the use of these commands. Then moving to the next topic, that's a cloud init. So cloud init, it's a tool, you can say, like which you can use to when you are launching an instance. So it runs at the boot time, and it also retrieves user data from external providers. So suppose you are launching an instance with necessary some information, or suppose you are putting some post launch script where you are expecting those scripts to be run on the instance. In that situation, cloud init can fetch those scripts and execute in the instance and prepare it as per your requirement. And also it provides you a boot time customization for cloud images. So suppose you want to have a particular user with particular SSH key to add in that user, in that situation cloud init add those customization at the boot time when it's launching the cloud instance. So it support user data formats like shell script, so you can use shell script with cloud init, or cloud configuration file using YML syntax for configuration options, and also MIME multipart archive also it supports to configure the instance. So you might be already using a cloud init. So cloud init not only works with the OpenStack instances, it can also work on normal VM instances to configure the VM. So you should have the cloud init installed in your instance, so that whenever it gets launched, it can configure as per your requirement. So cloud init has various modules, like it can configure the disk, then command execution, then user group creation, then package management, content file writing, then safe or Puppet bootstrapping, and can also you can use additional modules which is written in Python. So let me explain it how. Like suppose you want to launch an instance with suppose /var with 100 GB of space. So now you may not have 100 GB of space in your template image. So in that situation, what happens, you just specify you need to have a 100 GB space in /var. Cloud init can configure that when putting up the instance. Or suppose you want to execute some command while booting up that instance, you can do same via cloud init. Similarly, if you want to create some default user or group in your instance to have it every time when it boots up, so you can use that with cloud init. So cloud init has this kind of modules to configure your instance as per your requirement, and also you can write your additional modules in Python, and then can use those with your cloud init. So it can perform various tasks like inject SSH key, as I already was explaining earlier. Then it can grow your root file system. So maybe your template image may have only 5 GB of space in your root file system, but where you want to have it as 100 GB, in that situation it can grow that root file system. Also it supports setup of like host name, root password, location, time zone, yum repository. So this kind of configurations it can perform. Also it can perform some basic script on the instance to configure or execute those as per your requirement. So this task also can be done via Cloud Init. So then move to the next topic, that's called auto scaling. So this is a very important part of your cloud orchestration service. This is the part where you have the automation inbuilt in your OpenStack. So what it does, suppose Celiometer you will configure with some alarm triggering, so it will monitor your constantly monitor your resources, and if he sees like some resource or some particular resource is getting value crossed above the threshold whatever you have set, what it does, it goes and inform the same thing to your orchestration service or heat. Then heat looks into its auto scaling policy. Now in heat, suppose you have informed like if CPU is going above 90% to deploy a new image, or suppose you instance. So what it does, it checks, okay, I have to add a instance, and as CPU is above 90%, it will go and launch a new instance on Nova. So suppose previously you had only instance 0 and instance 1, now it will add one more instance 2, so that you will have the load distributed among these instances and CPU usage will go down below 90%. Also it will do one thing, so as not only it will add the instance, it will also add that instance to the load balancer, so that load balancer will have now that also instance as a backend instance and can distribute the load among these three instances and have your load reduced below threshold. So like this your auto scaling works. So this is the updated lab build out. So now you can see heat is also installed on your controller node. So if you see, most of the components will be running on your controller node, and storage related like Cinder, Swift, all these things will be running on your storage node, whereas your Nova related services or instances will be running on your compute node. So that's here COM00 and COM01, these two nodes are dedicated for your Nova related services or instances.